Africa, I'm Nik Rabinowitz.
I'm Hezron Louw.
Welcome back to Tyres Braaiers, the show about carring and charring, hot rods and hot wings, poikies and petrol.
We're in scorching Durban today, Nick.
That's right, it's going to be hot this episode.
We'll be checking out American muscle, spitbraai and birds.
Sounds a bit sexist, Hez.
No, Nick, actual birds with feathers.
Ah, well, let's check him out then.
My name is Craig Buck. I'm a retired attorney from Durban. I was such a car fanatic that when I retired, I started a company which actually restores V8s and muscle cars. The car is a 1969 Chevelle Malibu two-door. It's got a 350 crate engine in it, which is an engine we bought in from America, which makes about 400 horsepower. And it's got a huge performance gearbox, automatic 4-speed gearbox, which is absolutely state-of-the-art as far as that's concerned. And we've resto-modded it by fitting 4-wheel disc brakes, which improved the braking a bit from the 4-wheel drums that came standard, as well as going big with the wheels. We've got 20-inch wheels and it's got 335 tyres in the back to give it that really, really good look. We imported the car from Arizona, which is where the Americans keep all their airplanes because there's so little corrosion there. So it has a completely corrosion-free body. It was taken off its chassis. The body was bead blasted down to bare metal. And the car was rebuilt from the ground up with upgraded suspension, upgraded back axle.
Hello, Craig.
Hello.
What a car, dude.
Thanks very much.
How's it, Craig?
Hi, Ezra.
Yes, like that's a hell of an engine right there.
Absolutely. It's 5.7 litres of American V8.
That is a big, big engine.
This is like a coupe on steroids.
That's exactly what it is. This is a classic and iconic American muscle car.
I mean, a 5.7 litre engine. I don't think if you strapped 5 Chevy Sparks together, you could get a 5 litre engine.
No, that's exactly right. But of course, the fuel consumption is another story altogether.
What is it like?
About 25 litres to the 100 Ks, I would guess, if you're
25
lucky.
litres to
Yeah.
100 Ks?
Absolutely about that kind of thing.
Voted most popular car in America in 1969. Is it true 60% of Americans were conceived in the back of a Chevelle between 69 and 74?
It's highly likely, but of course I can't comment on something like that.
This baby used to be left-hand drive, am I correct?
That's correct,
And
yes.
now she's a righty.
Yes.
Oh, how did that happen?
It has to be legal in South Africa, all of our cars have to be right-hand drive. So any imported car from America, which this is, has to be then converted to right-hand drive, which is what we've done.
So did you go from being left-handed to right-handed drive? And are a lot of drivers ambidextrous?
Always.
Are you ambidextrous, Hez?
I'm not ambidextrous, but what I am is excited to have a ride in this baby. Is it okay if we test out the back seat, Nick?
I mean, test out. Let's
Yeah?
do it. Let's test
go.
out the back seat.
Yeah, let's feel some muscle. You can be in a long line of people who've tested out the back seat of a Chevelle.
This is my favorite part.
Here we go, Craig.
Malibu Chevelle, 5.7 liters, V8, 300 horsepower. You've never seen anything like it.
Guys, as you may have noticed by now, I don't know anything about cars. I've heard about the V8 engine. I'm like, yeah, that's a V8 engine. That must be kind of cool. People talk about it. But to hear the sound of that, it's quite primal. It makes you feel something that you maybe haven't felt before.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a hot rod and a muscle car?
Hot rod is more, with open engine, open wheels, usually built from an old car like a 30s model Ford, that kind of thing. So it's a completely different kind of car, more open, old school look to it, but built up from a very old car. This is, 30 years older than this one.
It's a beast. What power, what raw energy just coming from that engine as it accelerates.
It is an experience.
I saw a taxi driver ducking. Couldn't believe that car was so loud.
crowds run away from you. Everyone looks, and it's not. Look, this is not the car to drive if you want to be incognito. That's for sure.
I saw a guy fall off a rickshaw as well. It was just immensely loud. The power, the pull away. Do we have this?
You were saying?
1969 Malibu. Beautiful experience, pearl white, racing stripes. I felt like I was back in the 60s.
This was definitely the iconic muscle car in the 60s, so I'd imagine they would have outsold all the other makes by quite a bit.
This guy he loves these cars, man. Tell us a bit about the suspension in this car. Would you call it an agricultural suspension?
Very much so.
Oh my word.
Very much
Yes.
so. Yeah,
Eh?
I mean, that's a very big word. But I'll try and decipher it. Yeah, it is. Remember, this car is like 45 years old, and things were very, very basic. And of course, the Americans were never great on handling and that sort of stuff. So the suspension is very basic anyway.
This car, did it come with power steering at the time?
Yes, it was an option, because I don't know how the guys used to drive them without power steering, but it was an option. But because this is a Malibu, the Malibu actually means it's the top of the range one. So it's the very, very fancy of all the Chevelles. It's the fancy one with all the high-tech equipment. So it would have come with power steering, and then they would even raved about the fact that it had power brakes.
Craig stopped in this beautiful, beautiful location here. We've got the ocean on one side, we've got the stadium on the other side, and this beautiful walkway here. And I thought to myself, boom, this is a perfect place to give Nik and Craig a bit of something to chow. I take my inspiration today from this beautiful country we live in. Natal is known for its bananas. Its rugby team used to be called the Banana Boys. And I just thought to myself, you know what, let me do something different. So I did an Elvis Presley. I mean, we're driving around in a beautiful Malibu Chevelle, another American icon. So take America, take South Africa, mash it together, boom, you've got the Elvis Presley sandwich, which basically just involves some French toast. So you put a bit of sugar in a bowl, you add a bit of nutmeg, you add a bit of cinnamon, you add a bit of vanilla essence, you add a bit of cream, you add a bit of milk, you whisk that up on a pan, you add a little bit of oil, and you just put it on a heat, let it get some temperature. Take your white sliced bread, dip it into the mixture of egg, milk, double cream, put it on your pan, fry your French toast like you would normally, and all those spices and all that sweetness will get into the bread. When your egg is golden brown on the outside, it means it's cooked through. You flip it over and then take it off the heat, and you put a bit of peanut butter on, slice your banana through the middle, stack it right up on there, and cover the sandwich, and boom, you've got an Elvis Presley. I added some raspberries just for some color for the guys there.
Wow.
Another American icon, the Elvis Presley.
That's cool. Also in honor of the 1992 Natal rugby team.
The Banana Boys, yes, we were always called the Banana Boys
That's
back
right.
in the day before the Sharks.
Banana Boys, there you go.
Yeah.
Dig in, boys.
Thanks very much.
It's French.
It looks good. I'm going to
Elvis
pinch
Presley.
one of those.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very good.
Excellent. Well, of course, Durban very much is a chow thing. That's what you do, you chow. You're going for a chow. That's the slang we use in Durban. And I think it's got something to do with bunny chow. But the bunny chow is not named after chow. In other words, it's the other way around.
Wow.
Why did Elvis like these? Any idea?
I actually have no idea why I like them. Do you like them?
It's lovely, yeah.
Very much.
Of course, the most ironic thing for a KZN guy about bananas is that most of the bananas grown in South Africa come out of Mpumalanga, because they pinched all the fruit that grows in KZN, and it seems to grow a lot better up there. So that's where the bananas come from.
Craig's never had a sandwich like that, so he was a bit skeptical. But he looked like he enjoyed it. And it took him home to the days of the Banana Boys rugby team.
I think this is something that maybe I should master. People have accused me of only being able to braai.
Well, after such a great chow, the best thing to do is to go watch some birds. Like I've told Nik before, we're going to see actual birds that fly.
So from the inside here, very little is original, but on the outside, of course, everything is original. And that's the suspension and the shocks. And that's why I say that you've got to learn to live with the two shortcomings with the suspension and the handling, because it's a 40-year-old car with 40-year-old technology. but this is now coming into its own. This is the whole cruising scene. So you go to about 100 k's an hour. The noise backs off a bit. It's just quite loud while you're accelerating, but that's got to go with it. And now you settle down and cruise like we are now. I've got a learner driver in front of me. Yeah, I've got a learner driver.
Just like that learner drivers on Elvis.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Like, ooh. Arrived here in the Malibu Chevelle with Nik and Craig. Amazing ride here. Craig told us we were going to see some birds. Nik, of course, got very excited. I'm the conservative type. These weren't the sort of birds you'd expect. These were actual birds of the feather.
Werner, welcome to Tyres Braaiers. Great to be here at the bird park.
Welcome.
If we were to braai a bird, which one would you recommend?
One of the swans. You'll have to braai it for quite a while, about 3 weeks with a rock, and then you throw the swan away and you eat the rock, because they're very tough.
Werner, of course, the bird park here is about education and teaching people about
It is.
the sort of bird life we have in the country and about endangered species. How many species do you have here on the grounds?
We have about 200 species, just around about 200, because it varies, and about 800 individuals.
Speaking of swans, I see you got the white swan and the grey swan. No black swans. Is any racism involved there?
The whites are the adults, the brown ones are the babies, and the blacks are completely different species.
That was pretty much what the apartheid guys said.
Do you have any endangered birds here, rare birds?
Yes. One bird that I'd like to highlight is southern ground hornbill. We breed them as part of the action group, and some of the offspring gets released back into the wild. So it's one of the projects that we're very passionate about. My name is Madeline. He was in the part of the bird show, and he actually inspired the whole southern ground hornbill action group. A lady saw it by the name of Ann Turner. She saw him in the show. That inspired her to start the group. So they live in the savannah, so they need to call to their mates far away. So that's what that wattle is for, to amplify the noise.
And these birds live in groups?
Yes, they live
where
in quite
there's
big groups.
a dominant pair that mates?
Yes.
So how many breeding pairs would then be left in the country?
About 20, 30 pairs. There's less of them than of the rhinos.
There are less
Southern ground hornbills.
than rhinos?
Yes.
Conservation is very important, that we conserve species that are on the brink of extinction. I didn't know the ground hornbill is more endangered than the black rhino, which is less endangered than the Durban Jew.
We should be looking after these animals. I mean, as South Africans, this is our heritage. These birds, we found them here. We should be looking after them. And this is one of the establishments that keeps these animals and needs the support of the public. Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Yes.
Anything to chow us here?
Nothing that's big enough to chow you. Know.
Nothing that's big enough to chow us.
Yeah.
What are these birds for?
It's all different types of lorikeets. These are black caps. You've got your swainsons, your green knives, all different types of lorikeets. They're all together because they all eat the same food.
Are they native? Are they native to South Africa?
No, they're from Australia. There's little islands above Australia.
What is
it's
this?
The nectar. It's what we feed them in captivity. So what you do is you open it, you hold it in your hand, and then hopefully they're going to come and eat it.
What do you make it out of?
It's a formula that we buy. It's glucose and all the right proteins and things that they need.
I fed some birds. I fed a red bird. And these birds were colored and they just enjoyed the chow too much. It was some sweet nectar thing.
Well, this has been thrilling. Scenic through the rolling hills. They call them a valley of 1,000 hills.
It was a fantastic drive. Nik was gracious. We tested out the back seat together. It was a very scenic drive. Scenic road, the mountains, the river. I felt really good. It was fantastic.
We arrived here in our 1969 Chevelle.
But we stopped as we just drove in. There was this beautiful, spectacular view. There's a waterfall, there was rolling hills, there was a train tunnel. It just totally blew my mind. We're going to braai, Craig. You gonna join us?
I'm afraid I would love to join you. It's been a fantastic day, but unfortunately I have to leave. So Nick,
It's very sad because we actually have a special hot rod at the braai which we're going to stick inside a sheep. But
Okay.
you're not going to be here.
but remember this is not a hot
It's
rod.
a muscle car.
This is a muscle car.
Fantastic meeting you, Craig.
Lovely to have met
Enjoy.
you as well. Yeah.
Enjoy.
Absolutely.
It was his wife's birthday, so he left early.
Look at everybody. How's it? How's it? And then we were greeted by the very hospitable Mudli and Rajpal families. Mac, hi, Nick. Good to meet you. Please take us to have a look and inspect. We'd like to inspect the spit, Nabuhle, if you can take us over there. Wow.
Is this your lamb?
Yeah, that's a lamb.
This is the one I've known from day one.
That's wonderful. So
Yeah.
we're only doing a lamb braai today.
We've got some spicy Durban speciality.
You got some spicy
Sausages.
Durban sausages. My mouth's watering. I don't know about you, but
Yeah,
this
yeah,
looks
yeah.
amazing. KZN is one of the most beautiful places in our country. South Africa is a beautiful country as we know it. I absolutely love KZN. I want to retire to KZN. Now, I've tried spitting at home by myself, and I didn't get those results that I actually wanted. What does one have to do to get a lamb to look this good on the spit braai?
You hang the lamb. It's a curing process that you call,
Okay.
and that helps to tenderize the lamb
How long you cure the lamb for?
between 3 to 6 days,
6 days.
depending.
Okay.
And thereafter we season it. We use a bit of ginger and garlic, and a little bit of secret spice. What we found is that the charcoal braai is generally much tastier.
And the grades of lamb, what grade of lamb do you have here?
So this here is a A2 lamb, which is in the region of about 16 kilos.
Over 3 generations, the Mudlis and the Rajpuls have mastered the art of spit braaiing. They put in a lot of spices that I know they put in. But I can't tell you because I'm now a Mudli.
We're here at Shongweni Market for our spit braai. I'm with family friends Annie Rajpal and Mac Mudli, who is in his 94th year. Mac, what is your secret ingredient?
I've been blessed.
People don't just get accidentally blessed. Annie, can tell me.
Moderation. He
Moderation.
knows moderation.
Moderation.
Everything in moderation.
You wouldn't eat like a whole lamb on the spit, you'd eat like half a lamb. Right? That's moderation for you. Annie, have you been involved in the spit braaiing?
Yes, I do
Directly?
help with the supervising of the salads and layout and what have you.
How do you feel about handling a lamb?
I don't know. I haven't really had a big lamb on my own, but I'm sure I'll be fine.
I'm sure too.
Yes.
I feel like you need to start your own spit braaiing venture and invite the men to come and do the salads.
Yeah, I think so. That's a good idea.
Thank you for inviting us to be part of your family. It's an honor for us to be with you.
So going back to the heritage of the Indian people, and they've worked with rum for a lot of years, so I decided to make a rum-based cocktail. I made a syrup with sugar, water, watermelon, raspberries. And then I just put it on the fire and just let the water reduce so that you get a nice sticky consistency. I added that with a bit of ice and a bit of lemon as well. A lot of rum, and the lemon is just a sour. And a lot of pomegranate. And just to get that bit of spice in there, I put in a bit of basil leaf. I put in some ginger ale, and then I put in a big slice of watermelon, and that was the drink today. It's lots of ice for Nik and the Mudli / Rajpals.
Hez, thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Enjoy, boys.
Thank you.
L'chaim.
L'chaim.
Nakaim.
Wow,
This is good.
that's delicious. Grams, you're not going to mix?
Awesome.
Eh?
Have a
You're
sip,
not going
have
to
a
mix?
sip.
Have a sip.
Have a sip. What do you think?
Lovely.
What does it taste like?
Sweet.
Did you say?
Lovely.
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 Love you too.
I'll have another sip.
I feel like Hez really outdid himself tonight. He's made a few cocktails during the season, but this was the finest. This was his finest hour. My friend Riyad says the only time you find an Indian with a rugby ball is when he's putting a price on it. Guys, we think it's that time of the night to eat. We're with spit braai extraordinaire Phineas Mbega. Phineas, Kabeluchis is looking done.
Yeah, properly done now.
We're going to taste.
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
Let's go for it.
So I'll start giving you one nice juicy one.
Oh,
The knife glides through it like butter.
Yes. It's very...
can I taste?
Go for it. Yeah, go for it.
And like you said, it's cooked all the way to the bone, eh?
All the way to the bone.
All the way.
All
Oh,
the
my
way
word.
to the
Is this
bone. You
for
can
me?
have a piece
Go
too,
for it.
yes.
That is very good.
That is hot.
Mm,
Soft. Normally when you cook lamb, it's more of a flash. You want heat so you can get some pinkness in the middle for the softness, but spit braaiing is a low, slow, turning type of thing. You know, it involves patience, 3 hours. You want it to cook right through the bone. The chef explained that when you see the white bone, you know that you have just spit braaied your lamb to perfection. I got a question about the sausage. What is in the sausage?
Secret.
It's a secret.
I know there's coriander. There's a bit of chili.
And meat.
There's a bit of garlic. So I almost cracked the Rajpal's secret sausage recipe. Almost. Just there's something in there I can't figure out. A bit of cumin. Right?
Jeera.
A bit of jeera. A bit of ground coriander.
Yep.
Very impressive. Eh? Let's have another sip. Yeah, have another sip.
No, don't mess it up. I think it's paprika. I promise you, I think it's paprika. That is the missing ingredient because there's garlic in there. I got them a bit unsettled there, especially the younger Moodley. He looked very nervous when I got very close to the recipe. But I'll come back to Durban just to try their sausage. The depth of flavor was just amazing. It tantalizes the taste buds. It hits you in the front with a bit of heat. And then just after the heat subsides, there's a kaleidoscope of spices that just hit the palate on the back and the front. It was a fantastic sausage, to say the least.
Eating together was great. We felt like we all gelled. Another beautiful day in this great country of ours. But at the end of the day, let us all say...
Guys, and we've reached that part of the evening where myself and Nik would just like to express our gratitude for the hospitality you have shown us in this wonderful location, the beautiful lamb you have cooked, putting up with us. I'm sure it wasn't easy. I'd like to thank you very much from the bottom of our cooler box.
Empty, yeah?
Thanks,
A token from the SABC 3 and us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
guys. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Gramps.
Grams.
Crabs,
Maharaj.
And thanks to everybody for joining us.
Cheers!
Yes.
To this lovely
Zeker.